Hey everyone, today's lesson is about writing linear equations. When we write linear equations, our equation has to be in y equals mx plus b format. M is my slope, which is my rise over run. B is my y-intercept. So looking at my first graph, I'm going to start with my b, my y-intercept. So my y-intercept looks like it's at -2. My slope, I'm just going to pick from the y-intercept to any other point. I'm going to go from left to right. So my slope, I go up 1 over 3. So I went up 1 over 3, my rise over my run. Equation, pretty simple once I know my slope and the y-intercept. 1/3 x minus 2. Looking at graph number 2, I'm going to start with my y-intercept. Y-intercept where it touches the y-axis is at 7. So I'm going to go from this point, my y-intercept, to the next point. Looks like I fall down 5, which would make it a -5, and I run over 2. So putting it into my equation, slope -5 over 2x plus 7. All right, looking at number 3, starting with my y-intercept. Y-intercept where it touches the y-axis is at -5. Looking from the y-intercept to the next point, I run up 4 and I go over 1. I'm going to reduce that to just being 4. Putting it into my equation, it is y equals 4x minus 5. Looking at number 4, starting with my y-intercept at 7. From the y-intercept to the next point, I fall down 2 and I go over 2. I'm going to reduce that to -1. Putting it into my equation, I'm going to say -x. You can put the 1 in front if you would like. You don't have to have it. Plus 7. Number 5, my y-intercept is at the origin or at 0. Going from y-intercept to the next point, I run up 4 and I go over 3. Putting it into my equation, y equals 4 over 3x. You can put plus 0. You don't have to have it. I'm just going to keep it y equals 4 over 3x. Looking at 6, my y-intercept, where it touches the y-axis, is at 2. From y-intercept to my next point, I fall down 2, and I go over 7. Putting into my equation, y equals -2 over 7, x plus 2. If I flip over, looking at number 7, y-intercept is at -2. Actually, I should say y-intercept is at 4. My slope, I fall down 4. I run over 2. That can be reduced to -2. So plugging it into my equation, -2x plus 4. Looking at number 8, my y-intercept is at -3. My slope is I run up 5 over 6. Putting that into my equation, 5 over 6x minus 3. All right, if I jump down to number 11, I'm going to kind of work myself backwards. Identify what my y-intercept is. My y-intercept is at 5. And I'm going to pick one other point. I'm going to pick this point where I go down 1, 2, down 2 over 1, 2, 3, 4, which reduces to -2. So I'm looking for where my, actually reduces to 1 over 2. I'm looking for where my equation would be slope of -1/2, y-intercept of 5. So my answer should be D. Looking at number 12, y-intercept, where it touches the y-axis, is at -1. So I can go ahead and already eliminate A and C because their y-intercepts are at +1. My slope, I'm going to pick the next point. So I go up 1 over 1, which reduces to 1. So +1x plus or -1 as my slope. Let me know if you guys have any questions, but that is all for today.